When was the last time you took a full day off? A full week? What about a full month? When was the last time? Ever? Here's my experience as an artist building an online business. You simply cannot do it if you're exhausted and overwhelmed. And honestly, this was the case for all of my career as an artist. Success online, success on stage, success in life, it's all an inner game. It's about how you respond to circumstances. It's not about the circumstances, it's about how you respond to the circumstances. Do you get what I'm saying? It's so easy to blame things that are completely out of your control for where you're at in your life instead of focusing on the things that you actually can control. But it's pretty much impossible to do that if you're completely exhausted. I had the great good fortune of having a singing teacher in my early 20s who introduced me to personal development and spiritual journeying. Through her, I discovered an incredible number of books, which is basically where I started. Reading books from amazing wisdom teachers and getting directly mentored by my singing teacher, not just in singing, but in how to live life, how to build my character, how to become more emotionally intelligent and emotionally resilient. And these skills, this knowledge has absolutely served me as I came online, as I started my YouTube channel, my Instagram, my Facebook group, and started to make money from my online business. I'm so grateful for all of these years of study that helped me for sure performing. But who knew we're going to be so incredibly instrumental when I finally started to actually make money? Because here's the thing, it is so much easier to work for a paycheck where somebody else tells you what to do, tells you when to break, and your hourly wage is guaranteed, than it is to be a freelancer who is in charge of all of that yourself. You've got to generate the income. You've got to decide when to work and when not to work. As a performing artist, you simply don't have the luxury of having somebody else to tell you what to do. And on some level, that actually is a luxury. This is why it is so incredibly crucial that you learn how to play the inner game at the highest level. I love this phrase, the inner game of golf by Timothy Galway. You see, that singing teacher was into golf, and I'm so glad she was. Since then, he's expanded this concept into lots of areas, including tennis and music. Because you may think that to be a successful artist, to be the music teacher with an overflow of dream students and a complete waiting list, to be the actor that books all of the gigs, to even be that musician who's playing stadiums, you may think that all that is required is to be a really great artist, to have amazing technique, to have even a strong social media presence, and for sure to be talented, right? And the truth is, of course, all of those things matter, but in my opinion, there are actually 3 things that are even more important and 100% determine your level of success, especially long-term success. Because anyone can go viral and have 1 minute of fame. The question is, how do you handle the pressure after that happens? Now, the first thing is emotional intelligence. With emotional intelligence, you respond appropriately to any given situation instead of reacting because you're triggered. Just think about all of the times when you wish you hadn't said that thing. If you could just go back in time and not do that. This is what I mean. Emotional intelligence makes that go back machine not necessary because you didn't make the mistake in the first place by overreacting. Instead, you just responded appropriately. And sometimes the response is to simply take a moment, take a breath, and not jump to conclusions. It also means that when only 20 people are watching your Instagram stories, or 7 people, that you don't just say, I'm horrible, I don't know what the heck I'm doing, I'm a failure and a fraud. You don't decide that social media doesn't work. You don't decide that Instagram is a waste of time. Instead, you learn from it. You examine, well, what did I do on stories? How could I improve my stories? Maybe I should expand where I'm talking about things to other platforms. Maybe I need to do more feed posts right now. Maybe I should jump over to Facebook. How's it going with my email list? You remain objective. Can you say that you're able to remain objective under these circumstances? Or when 3 students ghost you in a row, do you take that personally? Do you think that you're a problem and a failure? Or do you think, well, maybe there is something I need to shift if I'm having 3 people ghost me in a row? Maybe it has something to do with my teaching style, and I've got a video on getting ghosted that you can watch. Or maybe it just means that your boundaries aren't strong enough and you haven't enforced your studio policy. Now, the next thing is the emotional self-regulation to experience failure as feedback. This is a natural extension of the emotional intelligence. Okay, so the post you just spent 3 hours working on didn't get any engagement. Time to make a new post. Time to look at that post and think about, what did I do well or not well? What are my best performing posts? What did I do in those that made them perform so well? Is it true that nobody's actually responding? Did I get maybe a private message? Did I simply not have a CTA to engagement and instead I asked people to click a link and they did? Or maybe it's time to get into a course where I'm actually going to learn about social media strategy. I gotta tell you, I have failed over and over again on stage, at auditions, and for sure with my Instagram strategy. I've had posts flop, and then I've had posts that have gone viral. I have reels with a few hundred views, and I've got reels with 10,000. You cannot judge yourself or your success by any one individual outcome. You need to start experiencing failure in a way that builds momentum instead of draining all of your energy so that you quit, whether it's for a day, a week, a month, a year. And then lastly, and maybe even most importantly, you need the self-awareness to know when to take a break. The self-awareness to know when you need time for yourself. And then the ability to just take that time without shame when you need it, and also when you simply want it. Too often we wait until we're utterly overwhelmed and then we just collapse. And I'm speaking from personal experience. I once was living with this ongoing desire to take a week off to watch TV, but I didn't do it. I was in a season of hustle and grind and take every single audition and do every theater contract that came my way, take every concert, teach all the students I possibly could, drive hours in traffic, multiple directions in order to make rehearsals. And then what happened? I got Bell's palsy. Bell's palsy is an illness that hits your face. It paralyzes your face. And in some cases, it causes a great deal of pain. That was my case. So much so that I spent 6 weeks on the couch binging Scrubs. It made me laugh. 6 weeks watching TV. When if I had just given myself, I probably didn't even need that full week. If I'd just given myself some time to watch TV because it was something I enjoyed, I don't think I would have gotten Bell's palsy, which ended up lasting an entire year before I had any movement on the left side of my face, and took 3 years before I stepped out professionally on stage again. So when I tell you, you need to have the self-awareness for when it is time to take a break, I'm talking life or death. I'm talking from serious personal experience. Now here's the thing. The inner game may not sound sexy, but you know what is attractive AF? Confidence. And you know what breeds confidence? Action. But not misaligned action. Not action just as a reaction to the circumstances or something that's just happened. You want to take the kind of inspired action that leads to confidence, the kind of confidence that leads to risk-taking, the kind of risk-taking that leads to failure, and the kind of failure that builds momentum, and the self-awareness to understand what is actually happening, that there's never been anything wrong with you, that you've always been good enough. But now that you believe it on a cellular level, you're able to be more vulnerable and open with your audience, which is incredibly captivating and charismatic. You become more instinctive. And all of this is attractive to your dream students and your new raving fans. But none of this is possible if you don't know when to take a break, if you don't allow your body to rest, if you don't give yourself time to recover from burnout. So let this be a wake-up call for you, that emotional intelligence, emotional resilience, and self-awareness are the true keys to your online, on stage, and in-life success. Now, if you found this video useful, then go ahead and like it and subscribe to my channel. Let me know what other video topics you'd want me to cover. And since you watched to the end of this video, I'm imagining that you are interested in mindset. And so I've got two things for you. I definitely recommend you watch this video on imposter syndrome, and also that you consider my program, Master Your Mindset. You'll find a link to that in the description. Now, go out into the world and shine your light. You deserve to be heard, and the world deserves to hear you.